Hey, what's going on, guys? It's me, Aiden, from Cartoon Apocalypse, and welcome back to another Miraculous Ladybug Season 4-ish news video. Now, I guess technically this is a Season 4 news video, but there's also some other stuff thrown in there. Basically, Thomas and some other Miraculous Ladybug crew members had an interview with Le Figaro. I don't know how you pronounce that. And basically, Le Figaro or something, I don't know how to pronounce it, they asked some questions and then the crew members kind of answered them. So there was some interesting news, such as Thomas basically saying every single episode of Season 4 will be close to the impact of Campalonk. And that's really big news, and I'll talk to that once we get there. Now, I'm not going to go through all of the questions and answers because some of them aren't really necessarily related to news, they're just sort of cool information. So I will leave the link to my translated article on miraculousladybugnews.com down in the description below if you're interested in reading the whole thing. I really recommend it because it's really cool how they because they do talk about some things regarding to like how they kind of construct the episodes with their moral values and all this different stuff. So it really is cool to see. So again, link to miraculousladybugnews.com. That article is down in the description below. Go check it out. So I should mention that these screenshots up on the screen right now are taken from miraculousladybugnews.com, that article that I was just talking about. But the original article was in French, so basically I just put it into Google Translate and got the translated version of it. So some things might not necessarily make sense. I tried to go through and clarify a couple things that didn't necessarily translate very well. But overall, I'm pretty pleased with how Google Translate translated it. It's pretty good. So this first one, the question was, is there a real chronology to respect when watching the episodes? And I'm not going to read all of this, you can pause and read it if you want, but basically, Thomas says that there are seasonal chronologies. So basically what that means is that you should watch season 1 before 2, and then 2 before 3, and then 3 before 4. But then he says each season has a particular taste with it. So he says that the first episode will be the first episode, and you should watch that one first. And then the middle, he says, is a set that you can watch in any different order. Now, for season 3, I don't like the way he worded this, or at least how it was translated, because there really was an order that you should have watched season 3 in. The order does matter in season 3 with the middle episodes. You can't just watch it in any order, which I don't know why he says that you can watch it in basically any order, because there is a specific order that you should be watching the episodes in. But when he says this, it makes me believe that this show is going to be following this same sort of format that it's been. So we're not going to be seeing a transition to a more continuity-based show. Basically, the extent that we see in season 3 as far as the order goes, I think it's going to be about the same in season 4, maybe a little bit more, but I don't think we should be expecting a change in the continuity order for season 4, so that's a little bit disappointing, but that's pretty much what I was expecting. I wasn't expecting a change. So that's why I included this little segment, just to talk about, hey, we're not really seeing a change in continuity-based storyline stuff. It should be staying the same as it's been throughout basically all of time. So next we have, how did you come up with the idea of the episode called Campalonk that shows what would happen in the future if the two heroes fell in love with each other? So first, Thomas says that this episode required a year of writing work. That is insane. It took a whole year to write this one episode. And if we're being honest, it really does show. This episode was phenomenal. They truly put more effort into this one episode than they did for the finale of season 3. Then he goes on to explain that they had a first version completed, and they even sent it to the companies like Disney Channel and TF1, Gloob, etc. to have it confirmed. I think that's what it is. I don't know. I don't really know that side of things, but they apparently had it validated. So the channels confirmed that it was all good, but then they decided to pull back and completely redesign the whole episode from scratch. So they took away everything that they had already done and then completely redesigned it. Sebastian even says that they have scenes that they didn't use because they just didn't have enough time, and it's really a shame when they can make episodes better that they don't because of this whole episode time limit thing. This show could be so much better if they remove this whole make one episode its own story and just kind of ignore any other like continuity based stuff. If they were to remove that limit, they could make stories that would last throughout multiple episodes. So for example, Campalonk would be over the span of 2 or 3 episodes, giving us a whole complete story that we can thoroughly enjoy. But like I said earlier, it looks like we're not going to be seeing any of those changes because Thomas doesn't seem to make any indication of that happening. And then finally at the end we learn that Campalonk was actually a season 2 episode, but since they rewrote it and it took so much time to make, they ended up putting it at the end of season 3. So we can see that they put a lot of effort into Campalonk, and it really does show. That episode was just very beautiful, phenomenal, and the whole writing was good. They made sure that the writing was the best that they have ever made. And then to go along with it, they probably put more money into its production because they wanted to show that this was an episode that they were really proud of. And the finale definitely shows for that. Alright, next we have, does the story of Campalonk annihilate the possibility of a love relationship between Marinette and Adrien? And Thomas says, the Campalonk episode does not close the possibility of a relationship between them, but it shows how delicate it would be. If they were to be in a relationship, he would describe it as dynamite, and he also says it should be handled with care. And then it says it could not happen anyhow or anytime. I don't know if that was just a weird translation, if that's what he specifically meant, but I don't really think that we should be paying attention to that. I think that's more of a translation thing. But he says, as long as a villain is in search of their miraculous, it would be complicated. Then he goes on to say that since the beginning, we knew that if they know their respective secret identities, it would be enough that one or the other has a negative emotion to be akumatized and would then give Hawkmoth what he wants. He says, with the episode Campalonk, you now know what would happen if they went out together. Now this part is referring to Hawkmoth trying to interfere with their relationship. And this might be what he was referencing in the earlier sentence when he was saying that it would cause them negative emotions. But if they were to keep their relationship a secret, then I don't think that there would be any problems. All throughout the show, the big thing that they've been pushing is don't know each other's identities because it's bad. And that because if you get akumatized, then this can happen or whatnot. But here Thomas is saying that the big problem is actually Gabriel. If Gabriel wasn't here to say no, you can't be in a relationship, then they wouldn't have had this huge issue like we saw in Campalonk. So I think what he's saying here is that if we are going to see Marinette and Adrien get together, which my guess is we will, it will be after Gabriel either succeeds in merging the Miraculous or after he fails. Now we know from the future that Gabriel does not have the Hawkmoth Miraculous anymore, so I don't exactly know if that means he succeeded or failed, but as soon as Hawkmoth doesn't have the Butterfly Miraculous, then there shouldn't be any reason for him to treat Adrien the way he's treating him now, which means that when Gabriel doesn't have the Butterfly Miraculous anymore, Marinette and Adrien should be free. And that may be where they're actually heading with the show, we don't know. The big thing that we do know though, as long as Gabriel is here and is causing a problem, then we probably will not be seeing a reveal or them getting together. Which really begs the question, when will we? Because it's really obvious that it's the OTP, and I really would be surprised if we don't end up seeing that by the end of the show. So I don't know, we'll just have to see where they go with this. And then finally, this is the last segment that I'm going to talk about. There are more, like I said, but you can go check that out in the description below. And the question is, what will we receive in the 4th season of Miraculous? And I don't know how to pronounce this first person's name, I'm sorry, but it looks like Mulaney. Anyway, they say that this is the season when the characters really take control of the series. And then Thomas says, in season 3 Marinette suffered, and in season 4 it will be a bomb each episode. This is the equivalent of the impact of Campalonk in each episode. Everyone will be flabbergasted. She has new responsibilities and she is maturing. At the site level, after the Grieven Museum and the St. Martin Canal, we will visit the Swan Island. Let's look at this beginning part first. He says it will be a bomb each episode, and it's the equivalent of the impact of a Campalonk in each episode. Basically, he's saying that the level of Campalonk is what we can hope to achieve in season 4. Now, if he's not over-exaggerating at all, then I cannot wait, because Campalonk was a really good episode, and it's really what we should be seeing in each episode. They have a lot of potential for season 4, and if they don't use that potential, then we're going to be really disappointed, because that potential that we thought was in season 3 ended up being pushed on to season 4. So I really hope that he's not over-exaggerating here, but just keep in mind that he could very well be, so I would not expect to have each and every single episode be at the level of Campalonk, especially since Campalonk took over a year to write. But if you think about it, we will be seeing season 4 in fall of 2020, which means that they spent roughly maybe a year longer writing this season, so it does make sense that this season would be a lot better. And then he also mentions at the very end of this little paragraph that they will be visiting the Swan Island, so there's just another location for you. And then Sebastian says that Season 4 is the one that surprised us the most. Now, there were a lot of surprises in Season 3, so if Season 4 is more surprises, then I'm looking forward to it. Then he says, all of your certainties will be upset, and it will also be the season of the 100th episode, and it will be necessary to watch it. And then this says, and a special episode will wait before the release of Season 4. Now that's how it was translated out of Google Translate. I don't know if this is saying that there's going to be a special episode before the release of Season 4, or if it's, I really don't know what this is saying, because it says wait before, so this one was just a weird translation one, so I don't know if this means that we will be seeing a new special episode before Season 4, or after Season 4, or in the middle of it. I don't know, but basically, many events will be happening in 2020, so we can expect to see that new special episode sometime within 2020. Now, I don't know what that one is. It could be the New York episode that we've had kind of confirmed. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, that's it for this video. If you did enjoy, you can leave a like and subscribe for more content similar to this. I'm going to say it again. This is the final time I'm going to say it. This was not the entire Q&A thing. The rest of it will be down in the description below on that Miraculous Ladybug News article. So again, if you're interested, go check that out. But yeah, I'll keep you updated whenever we hear new news, and I'll talk to you guys later. Goodbye.
But how did you know? I thought our identities were supposed to